Oh dear, I'm doing this again. I'm doing a phone collection video for my dumb phones. Now, hold on. Hold on. I'm doing this because I have so many I have like so many like new phones to just like straight up talk about, and it's like just I might as well just do a phone collection video to kind of just be more in depth with it. But enough talking, let's just get to the phones themselves. So, first off, we have this LG TM510. I have like two of these now, but this one's in this one I just got yesterday, and it's in like much better shape. And on the eBay post, it was demonstrated as working. It's just, the chargers I have for it seem to not really want to work well with it, so I can't prove that until I get like the right charger for it. Next up, I have like 5 of these like Blackberry rims. 4 of these are black and on singular. That's kind of racist, isn't it? My bad. See, there's the second one. Third one. Here's the 5th one. It's blue and it's on T-Mobile. Funny enough, none of these have batteries in them, so I haven't really plugged them in because I'm just kind of sure like they won't power on even if I do. Here's this beat to hell Palm Pilot type thing. It does not work. I've tried it. This ZTR221, I think is what it's called. Little candy bar phone. Yeah, this one is garbage. It doesn't work. Alright. Next up is this weird, like, HP iPack. It's, got Windows Mobile on it, and yet, like, it's just so weird, man. Like, you, like, have this, like, joystick and all that. I feel like this might be a rare one. I'm not sure. Next up, I have this little, like, Alcatel bar phone. And no, it does not work. I was able to, like, get it to power on for, like, a couple days, and then, like, it just stopped. And that's because it's so badly water damaged that, like, the inside is actually rusty. Yeah, it's got fucking rust. Lovely. Anyways, next up is this ZTE symbol. It powers on, but it boot loops, so does not work. And then next up, we got this Samsung SCH411, which I'm guessing is like the older cousin of the SCH611, which I also have. This one, I just haven't been able to get to power on. I know the battery doesn't really work, or at least hold a charge, so, that's cool. Next up is an LG VX 3100. I think the battery on this one is dead. I have like 3 of these. One had like a bulged battery. One just had a battery that just plainly didn't work. And then like another one that like worked fully. But yeah. Next up, I have an LG G4011, which does work. Yeah, screw you. And its cousin, the G4010, which basically is like the same thing. Yeah, just like look at them. The only difference is like the badge on top is like in different spots. But the 4010 actually has a shutdown sound, and it sounds goddamn awful on that speaker. The 4011 does not. But yeah, they're basically just like identical twins with like some minor differences. This LG 420G. just some like newer like track phone type flip phone. It is what it is. This next one's like one of my favorites personally. The Panasonic like EB of something or other. I forget what it's called, but it has a pretty cool feature where like you can change the screen's backlight to like two different colors. Either this like green color, which isn't like, it kind of looks like an aqua blue, like from like the camera's end, but it's like kind of like this like alien green color in person. Whereas like phones like around the same time either had like a kind of like a snot color green background for its backlight, or like just like a weird like aqua blue, like kind of like greenish blue color. This is like neither of those, but you can also change it to amber too, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool phone. Next up is one that I've had for like a long ass time. It's this like LG slider phone. I think it's like a Cosmos or something. I don't remember. Next up is this Pantech keyboard phone. It works, but it has like a passcode lock on it, and I do not have the time to figure out nor know how to bypass it. Next up is my only UMX phone. It's like a Blackberry style one. You can actually use this thing without a battery, thankfully. But it has no battery or back cover, which sucks. Then I have two of these LG D lights. I think this is the one that actually like works. I have another one of these, but like the battery is dying. And also the speaker doesn't work. Yeah, like look at that, man. It's like so cool. But oh, no, I'm gonna turn this off. Or wait. Is that the one that doesn't? I don't know. Now here's the other one. Let me see. They both power on at least. Yeah, this is the crappy one. I have this like other like weird LG track phone type thing, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know if this one boot loops or if it actually like fully powers on. I think it actually does. It just doesn't have a charge right now. Here's the LG Mingo, which is like a little kid's type phone. It works. It just takes a while for it to power on. Then I have one of many LG NV2s. That one works, I believe. Then I have this like weird like palm phone, which I have like no battery for and is like water damaged. I have no idea if it works. Next up, I have yet another old Alcatel, which is pretty cool. You can actually pop the bottom cover open with like this little switch right here. I got this thing like brand new in box, but like the battery was like super bulged, so I had to throw it away. So I have no idea if it works, and I also don't have the charger for it because it's a European charger. And I have no idea where the converter for it went. Also, here is another LG NV2, which is in way worse shape. It's got like all kinds of like grossness in the speakers. Here's one of my many LG El Cheapo track phones. Yeah, like I have like B40 or something like that. I have like many of like the same model. I'm gonna turn this guy off. Yeah, cool. Then I have this this LG touchscreen phone. Kind of works like a smartphone, but it's not. Sorry, I'm coming down with like some kind of allergies, so I apologize for like the stuffiness. Next up, I have this like crappy like LG like Virgin Mobile phone with like half of like the keyboard cover like disintegrated off, and like part of it like sticking to the phone's goddamn like screen. And also with a broken hinge. This thing is basically just garbage. I don't know why I have it. Now, I can't tell if this one or like another, or this one is like the LG Accolade. One of them is. I think it's this one. Can't remember, but they both work. They power on. They work well for daddy. Oh yeah, I forgot I had like another one of these LG flip phones. Yeah, one has a battery, one doesn't. I think one boot loops and one doesn't. Then I have this like El Cheapo Motorola like track phone type thing, which does not work. It's a darn shame because I wanted to get one that does. I have one of my two Motorola C139s. This one's on singular, and I don't have the right charger for it because it's like oddly proprietary. Here's one of my two, or I think it's like the only one that I kept of my LG Musics. Or no, that's a Fusic. That's a Fusic, sorry. I had like another one somewhere, but like it was in pretty bad shape too. It works, by the way. This is the other Motorola C139, which I also don't know if it works or not. Darn shame. Next up is this LG phone. I think it actually works. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does, now that I think more about it. And then I have this Casio G Zone. I don't think it works, unfortunately, because, you know. Well, actually, I don't know if it works or not, because I don't have the right charger for it. It's been a while since I've been through all these phones. Then I have this, like, LG, like, candy bar phone. I have not tested it yet, but, it's in pretty good condition. Other than that, I have, like, no idea. Here's another one of those, like, LG, like, B40s right here. I have, like, so many of those, I swear. I just need to get rid of them all. Good God. Here's one of my many LG Revere 3s. Another LG phone that's, like, the fucking bubonic plague. Oh, yeah, look. What do you know? Another LG B40. Cool. I'm probably getting that model wrong. An LG like 500C right here. I think this is like the one that I got like brand new in box. There's really like so many like video opportunities that I just keep missing out on because I don't know, I just don't really feel like it. Here's one of my many Motorola StarTACs. This one is like a bright gray color, which is pretty cool. And then another LG like B40 or something like that. Cool. Finally, something different. This is like a Huawei. This is a Huawei flip phone on consumer cellular. It does work. I just don't think it has a charge yet. Here's the Pantech Duo. I think this one just doesn't work at all. It's like water damaged or something. That or I think it just boot loops. Next up, I have this Kyocera 2345. I did actually try plugging it in, but like every single time I do, it like makes this like weird ass clicking noise. So I just don't think it works anymore, but it's cool nonetheless. I still like it. I actually got that one yesterday. Here's another one that I've had for a while. This Motorola Adventure, which is, it works, just I have like a problem with like the thing's battery. I believe this is a LG Dare or like an LG NV Touch. I think it's the NV Touch. But I think this one's like water damaged, but somehow like still miraculously powers on. Oh, here's this LG flip phone with a rotating camera, which is pretty cool. Like front facing or in the back. It's a good phone. And it does actually work. I've tested it. Here's one of my other mini Motorola StarTechs. This is kind of a newer one. Released, I'm guessing, like in like either like 98 or 99. It might look like it's in alright shape, but the speaker is nearly dead, and like half the buttons like barely even work. It's a miracle it even powers on. Here is my Motorola Razer Z3. It's got a damaged screen, which is a real shame. But other than that, it does power on. Here's one of my 3 Motorola iDens. This thing is literally a beast. It's like, hold on. Let me grab out this Motorola MicroTac so you can see what I'm talking about. Like, look at this motherfucker. This motherfucker came out in like 1991, I think. Like this model. This one, like, I think was released like either in the late 90s or like early 2000s. Look at it, man. They're like just as thick, and this one's like a little bit longer. It's crazy. I have no idea if that one actually works, or if any of the 3 that I have work. This MicroTac, though, I do know actually works. It's just with any MicroTac or StarTAC, the batteries just seem to fucking go on those like crazy. I think this might actually be an LG Rumor Touch, or an LG, no, sorry, an LG NV Touch. Yeah. But I think that one works. I think. I don't remember. Here's this Pantech slider phone. I forget what it's called. It turns on, but like it just like stays like in the boot screen like forever, so. Oh, sorry. Thought I heard a weird noise. But I don't really know much more about it beyond that. Here is this other LG B phone. I believe this is the LG 420G. It's on track phone. It's nothing really that exciting about it. Sorry. I think this is like the LG like Extrovert or something like that. It's in really good shape, and I think it actually does work. Next up, I have this Sanyo, Sanyo phone. Forget what the model is, but it's not an S1. I looked just to be sure, and it's not. Here is this other little LG track phone. It doesn't have a battery in it right now, but I do know for a fact that it actually works. I have tested it before. Then I have this little LG, or no, it's a Motorola phone on Verizon. This one works. Other than that, I don't really know much about it. Sorry. Then here's like one of these, one of the few Sony Ericsson phones that I have. It has a really weird proprietary charger, which I have no idea where it is. I'm sure I'll find it eventually. Then I have this phone by this like weird brand. I have like 2 of these. One's like this like bar phone, and it's I'm guessing they're like meant to be like rugged phones, like for like outdoorsmen or something like that. It's pretty cool, but like I have no idea if it works or if its brother, this like flip phone, works. I have no idea because I don't have the battery for them. So yay. Here's this UT Starcom slider phone on Cricket. I don't remember if that one actually works or not. Then I have this Sprint flip phone, which it does work. It's just dead right now. A lot of these probably are. Next up, I have a ZT Agent on Public Mobile. It does work. Fun fact about this was apparently one of CNET's top 10, like top 5 worst phones of a certain year. I forget which year. I think it's like 2011 or something like that. Then I have this Verizon phone, an LG, or this LG phone on Verizon. I have I think 2 of these. I don't remember if it works or not. I think it does, actually. Here's this other LG touchscreen phone on track phone. It does work. Or at least it powers on to the battery missing screen. Because I don't have a battery for it. I also have this MicroTac Lite. I have no idea if it works or not. Because I haven't been able to test it. Because I don't have a charger for it. Hold up. Gotta turn this damn thing off. I think it's supposed to be like an MP3 player or something like that. It's pretty cool. But here's this. I think it's like a Convoy of some sort on Verizon. I cannot remember what they all which one is which. So I apologize. I have this Motorola Razer V3. I have a million of these. This one's on Verizon. And then here's my 2 other Palm phones. Both of which I don't know if they work. And they're in really bad shape, so I highly doubt it. Here is my Palm Pilot 5, I think that's what this is. It has a bulging battery. And I have no idea if it works, so yeah. Oh. Speaking of Sony Ericsson, here's my only Ericsson phone. It has its battery, but it doesn't stay on. So it's down in the bottom of the bin somewhere. Here's a really cool one. It's the Siemens, or good God, Siemens. It's the Siemens S10. It has no battery, and I don't have a charger for it yet. I have one that should be coming in the mail tonight, which honestly I probably should have waited till tonight to film this video, but I don't know. Here is a Sanyo Pro 700, I think that's what it's called. No, Pro 200. My bad. It does not work. It's just toast. Here's my other LG TM510. This one I've had for a long ass time. I think it's been around since my first video. And it's in horrific shape. It does not work. No life at all. Here's another really unique one. This is basically just a Motorola StarTAC. If you think about it. But the thing is it's not made by Motorola. It's made by Pioneer. Basically, this phone is a Motorola StarTAC off-brand. Like they deliberately ripped it off. That's what they did. Pretty interesting. And yes, it actually does work. I might actually make a video on it at some point. If I can get the charger to do. Because, like all old phones like that, they have a bad battery. Here's a ZT Z222 on AT&T. Yes, it works, but I think it's missing its battery. And here's its cousin, the Z221, which actually does have a battery in it. I think it even has a charge. No, it doesn't. Okay. Not a big deal. And of course, with like every single screen's reflection, you can see my crazy ass hair. That's cool. Here's a Motorola i580 on a Nextel, I think. Yeah. It's in really bad shape, and I honestly don't... Yeah, I don't think it works. I try to make it work, but just no. Here is one of those other Motorola bricks that I have no idea if it works or not. Oh. Here's one I actually just got a little while ago. It's this weird Motorola, like, I think it's called the multi-tack, which is like a last-ditch effort to keep like the micro-tack alive, essentially. It kind of behaves like a StarTAC, but this one has just some like weird issues with like its screen. It just doesn't really work, unfortunately. Oh, here's an interesting one. It's this Alcatel phone, but what's especially weird about it is it has a color film display. Yeah, shut up. It has a color film display, which basically is where they like take like an image, like just some like little tiny image, and just glue it onto a monochrome display, and then that's how you get a color film display. It's just stupid. Why? Might as well just either make it a monochrome display or a color display, you fucks. Alcatel used to be cheap back in the day, man, I tell you what. Anyways, speaking of cheap, here is a iPro, or i6 Pro, or whatever. I hear that these are basically, if you will focus, an iPhone off-brand. They deliberately ripped off iPhones doing that. Here is... oh, God. Here is this LG Revere 3 that is in absolute disrepair. However, against all odds, somehow, this phone actually still works. I am not kidding. I ought to make a video off of that. Just as proof. Then here is like some other like weird LG slider phone. I think it's like an Extrovert 2 or something like that. I don't remember. Then a Garmin GPS thing. I don't know what that's doing in this bin. Phone part. Whoop. Another one of those like Motorola Verizon phones. I think this one actually works. Might have done a startup video on that one. Can't remember. Can never remember. Here's this other Samsung flip phone. I don't remember if it works or not. And then I have like two of these like... Come on. I had two of these like Duro flip phones. Don't worry. They don't work. Like, they won't even, like, power on for some reason. So it kind of leads me to believe that these are just not so good brand, I guess. I don't know what else I could really say about them. Next up, I have this LG flip phone, which is kind of like a Razer. It's pretty cool. I believe it actually works. Yeah, actually, I think it does because I did like a startup video on it. Next up is my LG chocolate. I don't remember if this works. I'll have to go back and test it again, but it's in really, really good shape, like immaculate. Overall, it's just a really cool phone. Now this one, I don't remember if this one works or not. I just don't remember. Speaking of LGs, here's one of my other 2 or 3 VX 3100s. This is the one that actually works. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and power it off because it's got a low battery. But yeah, that's the good one. Here's one of my only other Sony Ericsson phones. I believe this one actually works. I've tested it. Cool, cool. Oh, what do you know? Another LG 500C that I think also works. Here is an LG NV1, I think. This is the first NV. Then I have this Motorola bar phone, which is in like absolutely shitty condition. But, well, it works, it just has a dead battery, which is surprising. Here's a Samsung Smiley with no battery, therefore no means to test it. Sorry, I'm like sitting like cross-legged, so it's kind of hurting my feet a bit. Here's a Motorola phone on Verizon. It's water damaged, but it does actually work. I can't remember for the life of me what this model is, or like for like many of these. That's kind of like the thing, like, I'm the worst when it comes to remembering phone models. I believe this is a Motorola Sliver. I don't think this one works. I don't think it does. And it's a real shame because it's a really cool phone. And then I have this, like, really El Cheapo ZTE phone. I believe this one does not work. At least not yet, because I don't, like, have a... I think I just need to get, like, a new battery for it or something like that. But it's interchangeable with the ZTE R221, which I showed, like, kind of at the beginning of this video. Then I have another one of these LG flip phones. It's pretty cool. I have no idea if it... Oh, it's a VX 4500. I believe that one does work. I believe I've tested that one and it works. Here's another Motorola Verizon phone. This one I know for a fact works. Did it say what the model was? Hold up. No, it didn't. I don't remember. The Motorola Microtac battery. A Blackberry case. We'll get to Blackberry soon enough, don't you worry. Here's another kind of historic phone. The Samsung SGH A800. It was the first one to have like that kind of iconic jingle. If you know, you know. But it's in really bad shape. The ribbon cable is broken. So it doesn't really display much of anything on the screen, but like it does show life. The speaker works still. Next up, I have this LG NV3, and it does work. And then I think this is an extrovert of some kind. I think. I don't remember. Or it could be like a rumor touch. Or just the OG rumor, whatever. Then I have this like little LG track phone. the 100CM, which I think shows life. Just don't have a battery for it. I believe they call this Samsung phone the Samsung Smooth. I think that's what it's called. I believe this is an LG VX 8000 or something like that. And it works. It's in like immaculate shape. Here's another one that also works. Then I have this, I believe this is an LG Rumor Touch right there. Then I have this like LG, well, I believe it's a, yeah, VX 7100 on Verizon. It works, just doesn't have a battery in it. Here's my Motorola, I believe this is a V20 or something like that. Something like that, can't remember. But it does actually work. Or is it a V60? No, I believe it's a V20. I'll have to remember at some point. Here's my Motorola V66. It does work, but the battery doesn't really work very well. Here is another one of my Motorola StarTechs. The battery's kind of starting to, or not the battery, the hinge is kind of starting to feel weak on it, which is kind of making me a bit concerned. But it does work just as a bad battery, like all of them do. Yeah, so I have to like plug it into a charger in order to get the power on. Here's this little El Cheapo like LG slider phone, which is in like really good condition. It's pretty cool. And then like my last of those like LG bricks. And then here's my Motorola MicroTac 650E Plus, which works pretty well. Just had a bad battery on it. Doesn't have one right now at all. Here's another really weird phone, this Wowo phone, which I believe is like a Chinese brand or something. As you can see by the... I don't know, is that Chinese? I don't know what it is. Might be like some Middle Eastern, I have no idea. Actually, I don't think it's Chinese at all, the more that I think about it. Here's this Motorola Talkabout on AT&T. So, funny thing about this, and if I can grab it out, the Motorola Timeport, is that these were basically last-ditch efforts to keep the StarTAC alive. So, the Talkabout had like a back cover for like the battery, and a slightly outdated interface, whereas the Timeport had the world's first OLED display on a phone, which, if you see my startup and shutdown video for that, is like really effing cool. It's so cool. It looks really good. Unfortunately, you know they both work, but well, if you're a subscriber, you know they work, but the batteries don't work. Not really that surprising. Here's one of these. Here's one of two Motorola keyboard phones that I have. Do not remember. Oh, the Motorola Q. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember. But I don't know if the silver one works, but I have like a black one. Here it is. And this one I know for a fact actually works. Here's my Samsung SGH X105. It does actually work. Followed by my Samsung SGH R225, or no, C225. This is the C225. There's the R225 and the C225, which are kind of like cousins of each other. Here is another Motorola Razer. This one's on AT&T, and the hinge kind of feels weird, but it does work. It's like a time capsule of like 2005. It's crazy. Here is my Motorola Profile 300E Plus, which is, it's got like a passcode lock on it, so I have like no way of actually like getting to like the interface itself. Here's this HP iPac. I think I might have actually been able to power it on at one point, and it worked. No, wait, no. Nah, this one does not. I haven't been able to test it. Sorry. Here's a Motorola i475. It does work, but like the speaker is like extremely loud on it. Next up, I have this Sanyo on a Sprint. It works perfectly fine, just has kind of a finicky battery. Then here is this Motorola i1000 Plus. That's in like the absolute worst possible shape. It's like a heavily rounded off, Motorola Microtech. Good God. I've been at this for like 41 minutes, and it's like I've only gotten through like half of it. Next up, I have this LG VX 1200, which actually does work. And has like a... Oh, well. No. It's okay, it's enough. You're good. Don't keep trying to power on. But it actually does work. I believe I did like a startup and shutdown video of it at one point. And it's like in really good condition too. Like, just look at it. With some little Sprint phone released in 2002. And it has like a very unique startup and shutdown sound, which I think is pretty cool. Oh God. Here's another one of my Palm Trio phones. It's like really heavily smashed up. It's weird how like 90% of the ones that I have are like just in such bad shape. Here is a Motorola IC402 on Nextel. It's in good shape, but does not have a battery for it. Here's a Motorola I believe it's a C331 or something like that. And it does work. Works pretty well, actually. Just once you get like a charger into it. I'll actually have to do like a startup video on it at some point. Oh, here's a favorite of mine. The Samsung SCH A310. Yeah, I have like written on the back there. It works perfectly fine, by the way. Get it turned on for you. Just proof of proof of like how reliable like Samsung's old ass phones were. The battery even holds a charge too. Doo-doo feces. I don't know if y'all know, but that's a Michael Jackson reference. From like the interview when he was like talking about like when like several of his friends like locked him in a bathroom where they like had like shit like all over the ceiling, the floor, the fucking walls. And like they actually had to get like a police officer to like bail him out. It was a pretty funny interview. Here's my I believe this is an LG NV Touch, and this is like the water damaged one. That water damage is horrendous. Here's another like El Cheapo like LG Verizon phone. It's cheap. What else would you expect from it? This one I hear is like a rare prototype, but the thing is, the screen is busted and like just like it's in really bad shape. Unfortunately. I forget what it's called. The MPX. The Motorola MPX. It's cool, you know, it doesn't work, which is sadness. Then I have the LG R225M. It works, just has a bad battery. Not very surprising at all, if I might add. Here's my LG Music with a broken hinge, or a notch to beat up display. I don't think that one works though, and it's missing its battery. Here is another Motorola Razer. This one's like a nice, nice navy blue color, also on AT&T. Then I have the Motorola's T-Mobile Sidekick, which I do not have a battery for, so I cannot test it until I get one. It's a darn shame. Here's this Motorola V262, which I believe actually does work. I've been able to get the power on. Then I have this Motorola V190. I believe that one works. So I have two of these Motorola T, I believe it's called a 721. I kind of get it mixed up. This is the one on Verizon, I think. So I think this one actually works. Yeah, I think this is the working one. And then I have one like on AT&T that has a bad display. I don't know where it is right now. But in the meantime, check out this Motorola StarTAC. This one's like, I think like one of the very first models to come out. Because it has like a display similar to a lot of the MicroTACs. It works, just, again, bad battery. Goodness. Kind of running out of breath. Here's an LG. I forget what this one's called. It's something or other. I forget. Here's another LG Envy. This is the first gen one. The OGT from the first EP. There's this Huawei keyboard phone, which I think it actually works, just missing a battery. Here's this LG phone from AT&T that's literally falling apart in boot loops. Sad. Sadness. Here's another Motorola Razer on Verizon. I'm sorry, I should not be treating phones like that. Let me see, is this a Motorola V60? Like, what is it? I think it is the V60, not the V20. Good God. This is the one with a color display, the V60V, I think it is? Or is it the T? V60T, I think. It works, just has kind of a finicky battery because, you know, old phones. Here's this little Samsung El Cheapo phone. It works. Just don't have a battery for it yet. Here is a bulge the fuck out LG VX3100 battery. And another LG Revere 3. Isn't that lovely? Here is a Motorola on Singular. With the Playboy logo on it, of all things. And also missing a antenna. And it's water damaged. No, it's not cum damage. If that's what you thought, you're sick. Here is an LG VX8300. I do not for the life of me remember if this one works. Eventually I'll find out. Here's this other like Motorola like later like MicroTAC offspring. I don't have a battery for this one because the old one was like hella corroded. I think this one takes AA batteries, but like I haven't been able to figure that out. I hear this one's also really rare, like a rare prototype type phone. I don't know if it is or not. Here's another LG Revere 3 that's in like really bad shape. Like, good God. It's like, what happened to it? Did it like get run? Did it like get like ran to like a belt sander or something? Like, goodness. Here's this huh? Hold on, sorry. I thought it was like on or something like that. Can't be because its battery's dead. It's weird. Okay. I'm getting distracted. My bad. Then I have an LG, or this other LG phone. I think it has a bad display on it, so it doesn't work. Then I have this Motorola Teleattack that I don't have like the right charger for it, because apparently there are like 2 different chargers just for this specific type of phone, which is retarded, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm actually I really want to get this thing to work, because it's got like a red display on it, I can tell. And that's going to be pretty cool to look at. Here's this Samsung, I think it's a Messenger on Cricket. I don't think that one actually works. Here's another one of those Motorola phones, the V180, that's what it is. But does not have the Playboy logo on it. Thank God. Here's the I believe this is the Samsung Smooth right here. But the other one that I showed you that I thought was a Samsung Smooth might actually be the Gusto. I'm like I said, I am terrible with remembering model numbers and all that, so I apologize. Here's the Pantech Breeze. I believe that's the Breeze 3, which is pretty cool. And I have like this like Samsung phone, the SCH-A50. I don't know if that one works or not. And then I have like this like weird Samsung phone on Boost. I hear this one's like a smartphone or something. I don't know. I haven't ever checked that one out. And I have this LG on, or not an LG, my bad. Motorola on Verizon. It's kind of like one of those like Nextel phones, just in really bad shape. And then here is my last Sony Ericsson phone. I don't know if this one works. I haven't been able to test it. It also is missing a battery, so. Sorry about that. Here is this Motorola on Verizon. I think this is like the second one of these I have. I just was talking about one of them earlier. And then this Motorola like W phone. I believe it's on I believe this one's on TrackPhone. And it works. It does work. It's just missing a battery. I have this other like little LG on Singular. This one works, I think. I just don't remember for the life of me what the model number is. And this one is the Samsung SCH-A540, I think. And it actually works. Works pretty well, actually. It's just hella old. It's like from 2002. Here is this Samsung, I believe it's the Intensity 2, I think. Or is it 3? I can't remember. Here's this little, if I can get it to open. There we go. This Samsung on Verizon that looks like something LG would have made, to tell you the truth. If I can get it to focus. Come on. Screw it. SCH-A950. That's what it is. Here is this Express music player. The KA09. Or the KAO9. I like KAO9. That's a lot more fun. Here's this UT Starcom phone, but the OS on it is corrupted, so therefore it will not work. Darn shame. Here's this LG on Alcatel. I believe this one actually boot loops, so that's also a darn shame. Here's this Kyocera K725 or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Don't remember, but it's on Virgin Mobile. I have I think 2 or 3 of those. Another Samsung Intensity. Don't remember if that's the 2 or the 3. They look almost identical. So, here's this LG, the Samsung slider phone, which is really cool. And then I have this Samsung Reclaim, which is the Reclaim, which is this eco-friendly foam made out of cornstarch. So, I forget which YouTuber did a video on it, but he just kept calling it the corn phone. I thought it was great. Here's this Samsung, I believe it's a Gusto. And it works flawlessly. And it has this voice activated thing on it, which is really fun to fuck with, by the way.
Low battery.
Okay.
Center key. Okay.
Okay, god damn.
Home screen. Searching.
Shut it.
Home screen.
It's a lot of fun to mess with. I'm gonna turn it off though. It's like a text-to-speech type thing, which I found out you can exploit. Here's a Samsung Jitterbug type phone, which actually works just fine. That's cool, isn't it? Then I have this little Nokia flip phone from Verizon, which has hella stuff downloaded into it for ringtones and shit. It's hilarious. Then I have a Samsung Freeform. I don't know if it's the first one or the second one. I think it's the first one. At least that one is anyways. Then I have this little Samsung Metro PCS. It has no battery. I have not been able to test it yet. Then this Samsung SCH611, which works perfectly. The battery holds a charge. And it's from some little... I think it's actually from some country in the Middle East. I'm not sure what. But it's cool. I have nothing against that, by the way. Just so all y'all know. Then I have the Samsung SCH A300. Which... I don't know for sure, but I think this one's actually sought after. And it works. Has that cool, intro. But, yeah, the battery holds a charge, which is pretty sweet. And then I have this big-ass one. The Samsung SH something or other. This one's, hella old. One of the first Samsung phones. Vintage, as some would say. Then I have this other, LG... or Samsung basic phone. That's, basic. Not much else I can really say about it. I believe this is another LG Accolade from Verizon. Don't remember if it works or not. Samsung SCH or SGH X475 or X476, I think. I don't remember. Or 467. Whatever. It's fine. It's okay. It's 100% fine. Samsung SGH Q105. It works. Just the battery doesn't necessarily. That, or I haven't really given it enough time to charge. I think the battery works somewhat, but Samsung Convoy 4, or, no, yeah, Samsung Convoy 4 works. Then another Samsung Convoy on, pretend you didn't see that, on Verizon. What was that? That just fell off. It had to be something, man. That is weird, bro. Like, what was that? Anyways. Here's another, like, Samsung Freeform. I believe this is the Freeform 2, and as you can see, it has not aged well at all. Like, 8 of the keys just fell off. And then another one just fell off. Which one was it? It was the, God, can you at least focus? The X key. Yeah, I don't get it. Then I have a Samsung Elias 2, which, oh god. It works. I think it's water damaged, but it actually does work, contrary to what some might believe. Then I have a Samsung Intro, which is dead. I have 2 of those, actually. I think I might, like, go over, like, a few more phones and then just make it a 2-parter because, I mean, there's just so many. Another LG NV2. It works. I believe a lot of them actually work. And then there's, like, the Samsung Reality. Yeah. And I believe this one does not work. Or at least, I haven't been able to figure that out yet. Who knows? Could this be the LG Dare? Or... No, wait, this is the Chocolate Touch. The LG Chocolate Touch. That's what that is. And I don't remember specifically if it works. Yep. The Samsung SGH S125G. This one works. It's on track phone. I believe this is another Samsung Convoy 4 on Verizon. I believe this is called the Motorola Razer 2. And it works. It's on Sprint. Sony Ericsson battery. Told you I had it in here somewhere. Samsung on AT&T. It's a slider phone. It works. Alright. Let's see here. I believe this is called the SGH or SCH N240 or something like that. Maybe. It powers on and everything, but the battery's dead, of course, and the speaker is like hella quiet. Like it's just on its last effing legs. Here's my other Samsung Jitterbug on Great Call. It works perfectly. Then I believe like some sort of Samsung Messenger of some sort. And then I believe I'm going to make this like the last phone for this video. And then I'm going to make it a 2-parter because we're already over an hour here. Samsung, or god damn it. Motorola Moto, I think this is what it's called. Which is like the Cadillac version of the Riser. Alright. So yeah, I think I'm just going to make this a 2-parter because of just how many phones there are in this. And I'll see you in the next vid.